You have 1 incoming transmission waiting.
Hey, are you all around? Seriously, what is with this guy? I honestly can't tell if he's a sociopath or just incompetent.
He's, like, extremely intimidating.
Do you folks think we might want to reach out for some support?
What kind of support you thinking?
Like, technical support?
No, Kai. The union.
I get why you think you want that, kid, but you don't. Trust me.
You're talking about bringing the union stuff here?
Let me handle it, folks, please.
Weaver, no disrespect, but this is turning into something much bigger than our little crew here. The union might help us report this as an official complaint, or maybe mediate a discussion, or...
I'm gonna take care of y'all, same as I always have, okay? Just go on and get them 40 winks, all right? Y'all take care.
Hello Shipbreaker 9346-52. Lynx would like to share the following inspirational message. Some people dream of great salvage, while other people get up every morning and make it happen.
Good morning. How y'all doing? I woke up about a half hour, 40 minutes ago. It's the morning that this is supposed to go up, so yeah, I streamed for 7 hours yesterday on accident. I didn't sleep very well, and I did not record this last night, so you'll get in a late episode today, sorry. Anyway, oh yeah, we have some stuff we gotta do though. Where's the living space has the computer in it? Yeah, there we go. Got a few things to do, because we have some data recovery we haven't done. We haven't done the ship doctor thing, so we can repair that. We can repair this, and we can repair that. We can repair this, we can repair this, we can repair that. We can repair this, we can repair this, and we can repair this. And we're close to finishing that, so we are very far away, but we are at least still doing this, which is better than before. Data recovery, let's see what we got. Looks like this one doesn't have much in the way of... Oof, that is not much at all. Let's check both of these. So this is all just the lore stuff. I forgot we had 3 of them. Okay, so there's an audio log. Yeah.
Falling asleep on the job, Salvager? That's a great way to lose a limb and or life. Lynx cannot encourage the use of illegal narcotics. However, research has shown that, when used in moderation, recreational stimulants and microdoses of hallucinogenics can provide salvagers with significant gains in both performance and yield. Furthermore, the Lynx Board of Directors voted unanimously to eliminate any and all drug tests for Salvage Division employees, because we at Lynx believe the privacy of our employees is paramount. Lynx, making the world a better place.
Okay. Okay, yeah, it's all the lore stuff, which is cool, but not really. It's not over. The game's not finished, so I'm not really looking for the lore right now. Do we have enough LT to do any upgrades? Like the cooldown upgrade. Yeah, okay. Let us go back to the ship we were cutting up yesterday. Wait, what? What? It's supposed to let me continue. Does it not if I exit the game? No. Maybe. Well, I guess we'll start over. Well, then that means that I just have to do the whole ship in one session and just have to split it, I guess, into 2 episodes. That's weird. Wait. But it says I don't have a existing ship. Sure, whatever, let's go. It's just acting like the ship from yesterday just didn't happen. Which, whatever. The processor is named after Eugene L. Processor, who invented the furnace. Okay. Did it just not count the ship from yesterday or something? Because this is the exact same ship. But I had LT, which means that... No, it had to have. Weird. Fucking weird. Anyway, how y'all doing today? It's a no bones day. I checked this morning. It was the first thing I looked at. Like, I literally got in the shower and checked to see if it was a bones day or not. It's a no bones day, and I feel it. So, I'm going to act like it is a no bones day. I'm too tired to care about anything right now. Not gonna lie. I have been getting very little in the way of sleep lately. And I'm not 100% sure why that is. So... It's not seasonal depression because I don't look at the windows. I don't go outside ever, so... It should be all the time depression for me because I don't see the sun either way.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Yeah, I know this is a giant waste, but I'd rather do this than manually do it like I did before, and also it looks cooler.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Alright, that's all the cargo. Oh no, there's still 3 more. Holy shit. Okay, there was exactly 15 cargo on here. Well, time to go buy some more tethers.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Welcome to Vintatron 9000. Thank you for your purchase.
Tethers restored.
Alright, let's see. I know I can see some gatherable stuff in there. It's also pressurized, I know that, so... Let's get on in there. See what we can start cutting.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Oh. I guess it's only pressurized in certain parts. That's annoying. Okay. So we have to pressurize everything, and then we can depressurize it. Also new posters, I'll take them. Okay. Where do we pressurize this? How are we going to pressurize this? Okay, because it seems to be... Also... I guess you're not able to pick up thruster fuel anymore in the mission. Weird. Because that's pressurized in there. That's pressurized. Or at least that interior space is pressurized. You know, if we shut this...
Airlock pressure levels increasing.
And then we just open this. It's not really going to do that much in the way of damage. And it's depressurized that whole area.
Pressure levels dropping. Airlock pressure levels increasing.
And then all you do is depressurize this area.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Perfect. Worked out flawlessly. You know what? Let's scan for objects really quick. See if we've got anything else that we can collide. There's some stuff down there, a couple in there. I'm not taking them out of that. Yeah, it looks like there's just a few pieces left, so.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Cool. Okay, let's start cutting this thing apart. Oh, man. Yeah, accidental 7-hour stream. I didn't mean for it to be. Just kind of streamed for 7 hours yesterday. Wasn't really planning on that. Had some good and bad experiences in Back 4 Blood. That was annoying. Kind of ruined Sam's first experience because for some reason, I think it was just somebody who didn't know what they were doing. I don't think they were trying to grief, but we got one person who just decided to set off literally every single thing. But they were like just kind of wildly flailing their bat. They weren't using guns. Like it just seemed like they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Like what kind of game they were playing at all. And just kind of... It sucked though. Like it was just like, oh cool, you ruined this super hard. Also, I can't tell if people are playing that game or not. Because at least on... Like, because it's supposed to have full crossplay and everything, but I'm having a hard time finding matches with, like, maybe it's their matchmaking is just fucked or something, but I am having a really hard time finding, like, full groups. I will get shoved into a you know, one of just, like, one other person and then 2 bots and stuff like that, and it's like... For a game that just came out, that I genuinely very much enjoy. Like I really have a lot of fun with that game when I can get a group going. But if you don't bring friends into that, I don't think their matchmaking is very good. I'm not gonna lie. Although I had a really good run. Like we had 2 hours yesterday on stream where it was me and basically the same group. One person left. But it was like the same group for almost 2 hours doing, like, running through the campaign. So, you know, it wasn't like every experience I've had is bad. It's just we had a couple really, really annoying ones yesterday that kind of ruined the mood for the game, which sucks. And that's playing with strangers on the internet, although I don't have that in a lot of other games. Like that's supposed to be a common thing, but like I never had that playing like Warframe, or like you get some annoyances, but although that's a very different kind of game, you can solo everything in Warframe no fucking problem, whether there's 4 people there or not. Well, almost everything. There's a couple mission types that are very hard, but like that's a different kind of game. I shouldn't compare them, but you know what I mean. Like there are games that are not. It's something to do with shooters specifically that people just suck at. Oh, I didn't know that anything else was pressurized. Fuck. I hope that didn't break anything. Fuck me. Shit, why were you pressurized? Where did you go? Like, where did that lead? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. Like, I'm used to people just, like, at the very least, just kind of running around shooting the guns or something, like something that is at least somewhat useful. But this person just straight up only used a bat, ran around, set off every set of like crows and anything else that summoned a horde, and died repeatedly. Kept running off, like, I couldn't tell if it was intentional or not, but I've come to the conclusion that I think it was just somebody who has never played a Left 4 Dead game before, and possibly somebody who doesn't really play first-person shooters at all, so I chalk it up to they just didn't know what the fuck they were doing. But it was still annoying as shit. Like, whether or not, hey, play the fucking tutorial for video games. There's a decent tutorial that teaches you all of that. Play the fucking tutorial before you play stuff with other people so you don't ruin their experience. Your experience is not the only one that matters. That's a thing people just do not fucking understand a lot of the time. It's the you don't pay my sub mentality of MMO players that also drives me fucking nuts. It's like, well, you don't pay mine either, and you're ruining my experience, so go fuck yourself. That's really big in the 14 and WoW community. It was not as big in WoW as it was in 14. It definitely happened, but I had a lot more people, especially tanks and healers in 14, which is why I was a tank after a while. I gave up on Dragoon, it became a tank because I was annoyed by other tanks. I played Warrior, but that was back in fucking Heaven's Word. Warrior ain't Warrior anymore, at least not the way I knew it. I don't know shit about the beast gauge. I tried playing 14 a little while ago again, and no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't hate the game or anything. I'm done. I don't want to play it. I'll watch everybody I know talk about it constantly, and I will continue to go, that's nice. You have fun, dear. But it wasn't as big a thing in WoW. Like, I don't know. They're very different communities, although now they're the same community because a lot of people have jumped ship from WoW over to 14, which is cool, good. Stop giving Activision Blizzard money. It's good. Don't fucking give Activision money, you motherfuckers. I don't care if you like Spyro or Crash or fucking Call of Duty. Don't fucking give Activision Blizzard money. You can do without your treats. It's okay. But yeah, it was never that big a thing because people were just like, I guess just because, I don't know, there's like this weird, and I don't think it's as prevalent as it was back, 5 years ago when I played 14, but back then it was still early into that game's life in comparison to most of the other MMOs that were around at the time. And like, yeah, it had existed in its prior state, but that most people don't talk about that. And I think it's just like a newer community that was coming to an MMO for the first time, or they were coming to it from only another Final Fantasy MMO. Because I know most people who played early 14 did not really come from a lot of other MMO stuff. And I think that they didn't have those years of like needing to be, because a lot of older WoW players, myself included, who went on to other MMOs. Oh no! I want that to go there. Just kind of, we just didn't give a shit, if that makes sense. Like, it had been so long that we stopped caring about things like a sub and stuff like that. But for an early, like a young community, like early 14, it was a big deal because you're paying $15 a month for this game, and it's like everybody else who'd been playing WoW for 8 years by that point, it's just like, who cares? Fucking, it's a bill I forget about. Like, I didn't play WoW for years, and it took me, like, before I started and then quit again, it took me like a good year and a half to remember to cancel my subscription when I quit the first time years and years ago, because it was just a normal bill and I didn't even think about it. Like, the sub thing becomes just another expense that you have. You don't think about that it's $15 a month for a video game that you are playing. And early on, yeah, that's always a huge thing in your head. But after, 6, 7, 8 years, you stop giving a shit. And I think that was the difference between when I started playing 14, because I started end of Realm Reborn. I started like around the time that Heaven's Word came out, kind of like I did with WoW, where I started at the end of vanilla and really started playing when Burning Crusade started up, because I liked Illidan. And I've noticed the same. I think it's the same thing. I don't think it's like that in the 14 community anymore. Again, my experiences outside of my friends who play 14 with the 14 community are all from like pre 3.2. And it was a very different community, a much younger community. And I think that's why I had those experiences there, because they just weren't used to that kind of stuff. You didn't become jaded with your subscription. You didn't give a shit about it anymore after a while. But you weren't then, It was young enough. And I'm only talking about this because I find that kind of stuff really fascinating, like watching as people adjust to a thing. And honestly, I don't think any MMOs should be fucking $15 a month. They make enough money through other transactions, purchasing different stuff to absolutely last. Like, Blizzard doesn't need $15 a month for World of Warcraft. Square Enix doesn't need that. Although, maybe they do, because they keep fucking putting out terrible goddamn video games and doing really shitty things. God, what was the new thing that Square did? Fuck, there was something like yesterday that I like glanced at Twitter and saw and just went, what the fuck, Square? And then just kind of walked away for a bit. And I cannot remember what it is now, but Square keeps doing very stupid shit. And I'm just like, can you guys just not, please? Can you just not be goddamn idiots about this? And I don't think that's gonna happen. But I think 14 is like the only thing keeping Square Enix from. Oh, they went and added that's what it was. They went and added microtransactions to fucking Avengers, even though like the whole time the main talking points for that game were that there were no microtransactions and there would never be microtransactions. And then they proceeded to year and a half after that game came out, did it come out last year or did it come out the year before? I think it came out winter of 2019, because I think it was pre-pandemic. I think. But they promised that they would never have microtransactions in the game and stuff, and then proceeded to add microtransactions to the game yesterday. Or at least announced they were adding them. Because, Square Enix, fucking God. I like Yoshi P. I like his team mostly. I think that Final Fantasy 16 looks boring and fucking just so goddamn generic. I just don't give a shit about that game. But otherwise, so far, Yoshi seems to really give a shit about his community. He gives a shit about his game, and I like him for it. But God damn it, Square. God fucking damn it, you had to. You couldn't leave it alone. The game that was already a massive failure for you, you couldn't leave alone. You couldn't just go, we're gonna take that L and do something else. And it's just 14 is kind of probably the only thing keeping Square Enix afloat at this point. Like, their games are all kind of failing outside of this. Like, I know that I'm pretty sure, is it Shadow of the Tomb Raider game names don't mean anything to me anymore. I've given up trying to figure out which one's which, but Shadow of the Tomb Raider was the last of the trilogy by Crystal D, right? Well, no, they didn't even get to work on the last one because they were working on fucking Avengers. But it's the last of that reboot trilogy, right? I know that didn't do super hot for them. It wasn't like a complete failure or anything. It still made its money, but it didn't make the money that corporations want to make. They all want Call of Duty money, and they don't understand that doing smaller, cheaper experiences that are still quality will probably net them more money than Call of Duty ever will. I wonder how much that fucking game made. Because I like to think of those comparisons in like Stardew Valley, which is not a fair comparison because Stardew Valley was incredibly popular in a way that most games never get to be. But you see what I mean of like how much marketing budget was put into. Sorry, I just had coffee. How much marketing budget was put into the Avengers? Like, if it's anything like a movie, it's the like production budget again just for marketing, if it's like movies. So you're looking at, was what, probably $100 million to make that, and then another $100 million, with chunks of it provided by Disney, obviously, to promote that game. And it flopped massively because it was a bad game. They focused on making a bad fucking game. Like, there's nothing else to describe it as. It's not a good game. It's a very, very bad. Okay, the gameplay is bad. The writing is actually really fantastic in that game, but the gameplay is boring at best. And I say that having beaten the game. I've beaten the story in that. I have not gone and done the other DLCs. I needed space on my fucking games drive, so I uninstalled it because that game's like 130 gig or something. But I beat the main story. Writing's really fantastic. That feels like the only thing that got any kind of real care put into it. Other than that, that game is the most generic, boring, mediocre thing in terms of its gameplay that I have played in a long time. Anthem felt better in its gameplay than fucking Avengers does. Avengers is it's just such a slog to play. Every character except for, honestly, Kamala feels just bad. Hulk is so bad in that game. Like genuinely, like, weirdly bad. I died more as the Hulk than any other character. I would like to reiterate, I died more as the Hulk than any other character in that game. The Hulk, you know, the immortal Hulk. I got my ass handed to me all the time because whenever I played the Hulk, because he's slow, has very little in the way of like real movement options in a fight. His dodge is whack. Everything about the Hulk sucks in that game. And also, he's not like much tankier than anybody else. It's weird, but it's like a perfect example of that entire game's like gameplay feel. Is like, why is the Hulk the worst? Because they don't know how to make a superhero game, and they don't know how to make it balanced. Because you can't balance the Hulk. Like, in what? The whole point of the Hulk is that he's not balanced. He's fucked. There's no beating him.
Fuel supplies are available.
Like, if he really wants to, he'll just keep going because he's literally a more. Apparently, he's also the. So the newest issue of Hulk. It's apparently been discovered that he is the avatar of the one below all. That's a whole other fucking. He's the avatar of God's anger. That's why he's so strong. Because the one above all is literally like God. And I don't mean like random whatever. I mean like actually just straight up like Yahweh. Like, oh shit, there was a power cell left. Fuck. Like the God Yahweh. It's weird. Lucifer Morningstar is his son. Well, actually, he left. Well, I'm getting DC and Marvel mixed up because they both have representations of the Christian God, or in Marvel's case, less the Christian God than he's just called the one above all. I'm mixing up DC and Marvel again in my head. But either way, he's a depiction of a actual literal God. He's not like, oh, there's something. No, he's literally like God. And also he looks like Jack Kirby in Marvel, which makes me happy. Because fuck Stan Lee. Stan Lee is mediocre at best. But Jack Kirby's fucking. Jack Kirby was the coolest motherfucker, and I'm still sad he does not get the recognition that he deserves for everything he did for comics. Anyway, I have opinions on Jack Kirby and on Stan Lee, and they piss people off. I'm going to just destroy this door because it's going to get destroyed either way. No, go back. Go back. I didn't know that was pressure. That wasn't pressurized. Why'd that do that? Why you do that? What the fuck? You weren't pressurized, bitch. Anyway, let's destroy this fucking. Wait, can I? Oh, I can't open it. Yay. But yeah, apparently the Hulk is the avatar of literal God. DC, it's the Christian God, and I think in Marvel it's more ambiguous which God it is. Or no, wait. Yahweh's not the Christian God, that's Jehovah. Wait, isn't Yahweh another name for it because that's the Jewish name for God? And then they changed it. I don't remember my religious bullshit anymore. I stopped caring about that shit when I was 8 years old. It's been 24 years. But anyway, he's a depiction of God's anger. He's literally the avatar of like a literal God's anger. And they made him easily killable in Marvel's Avengers. That's what I'm trying to get at. It sucks. The gameplay is terrible. Don't play that game. Watch an LP. Just watch the cutscenes. It's worth it. It's worth it for that. But that goes back to what I'm talking about with Square. I don't think Square's doing too well. Like, I know they're making plenty of money, but if they didn't have 14 subscriptions, I don't think Square would actually be doing all that hot. Bullshit. It was white. It was fucking white. I will goddamn freeze frame the goddamn fucking. It was white, you motherfuckers. I did it right. Fuck you. Fuck you. Now I have to find where the other one is. Okay, we got two more over here. least those ones fucking... God damn it. It was white. It was fucking white. Pissed. I'm pissed because I didn't fuck that up, god damn it. This is a rambly episode. I'm sorry. I woke up after very, very bad sleep last night. And my brain is 22 other places right now, so it's gonna be one of those. Sorry. I know these are usually rambles, but I have gone on like 12 tangents so far, and even I recognize that that's excessive. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know how Square's actually doing, because a lot of their games recently, like Square Enix put out The Quiet Man and Balan Wonderland, which it's Wonder World. I always forget that it's fucking Wonder World, not Wonderland. But those aren't good games, and I know they did not do well. And I know that like they weren't exactly super cheap to make either. Like Balan wasn't super expensive, and neither was Quiet Man, but I know they weren't like they were still Square Enix budget, so they weren't perfect. But like I don't think any of their other games are doing super well right now. Like I know Marvel was a massive failure for them. We'll see how that Guardians game goes. People seem to be more excited about that than they were for Marvel. It's the Avengers game itself, which I don't know. It's still not. I'm just not interested in Marvel shit. I only really wanted to check out that Marvel game because it had Kamala in it, and I like Kamala because I enjoy the comics. But yeah, wasn't worth playing all the way through. I could have just watched it on YouTube and gotten about the same or better an experience. I wonder what, like, 14 is saving them right now, right? Like, that's the only thing that's keeping them going. Oh yeah, the whole reason that I even brought that up was because MMOs should not have fucking monthly subscriptions. They just shouldn't. There's no reason for it. Not in this day and age. There's no reason for it. Free-to-play games are doing better than most subscription-based MMOs at this point. Just go free-to-play, have microtransactions, because they already have fucking microtransactions anyway. 14 and WoW and ESO and Secret World. I'm trying to think of all of the subscription-based. Well, two of those you don't need a subscription for, but they do have the $15 a month options. They all are full of microtransactions. Secret World is chock full of that shit. Same thing with ESO, but that's also because they have a full free version that you don't have to pay anything for outside of. With ESO, you have to buy the game itself, but it's buy to play, which is the stupidest goddamn name for things, but that is what it is. It's the same shit that Guild Wars 2 did, where all you have to do is buy it and you can continue playing it, and then it's chock full of microtransactions. ArenaNet. ArenaNet. I'm just thinking about ArenaNet and everything about them. And just still, to this day, it has been like over half a decade, and like I still am just like, no, go fuck yourself, ArenaNet. I've still not given them my time or any money since. But yeah, it's one of those things that just like they don't need subscriptions. They would get along without them. I am sure that 14 makes more from its microtransactions than it does from its subscribers, because I know people who fucking buy Fantasias 3 times a goddamn week. Yes, I'm looking at you, Sam. Not my Sam, different Sam. Half of my friends who play that fucking game buy microtransactions multiple times a week to change the look of their character. Like, all the time. And I know people do that. So I'm gonna bet they're making plenty enough money from microtransactions that they don't need a subscription. Although with the rest of Square's financials, maybe they do. I don't know. I don't actually know how much Square is making at this point. I've kind of stopped paying attention to them. But I don't know. You just look at, like, I know World of Warcraft doesn't need a fucking subscription. I know goddamn well it doesn't. Like, they know. They don't, like, you can play that game without a subscription. You just need enough gold to buy fucking tokens, but... Which I appreciate as a system. Fuck Activision Blizzard, but yo, being able to buy game time if you have enough gold, which gold is fairly easy to get, is actually a cool thing, and more MMOs should do that. Rip off WoW as much as you can. Rip off the good things from WoW as much as you can. Rip off their transmog system. Everybody should just rip off that transmog system. It's the best one. Like, there's still nothing better than that. It's uncomplicated. You just get the thing you want. It's so nice, and I wish more MMOs would take it. But then you have shit like what Destiny did, and did they ever fix that? I don't know. I have stopped paying attention to what the fuck Blizzard is, or not Blizzard, what the fuck Bungie is doing at all at this point. Like, I know from people telling me that they're removing fucking, they're removing the best part of the game from the game, which is just hilarious to me. They're removing fucking, that made the fuel gauge do that. What the fuck? They're removing Forsaken from the game, which is just like, oh, cool. The best content in your game is going away. Good job, guys. You couldn't think of... You could remove Beyond Light. It's okay. You could remove it. It's okay. I'm fine with you removing that. But no, they got to get rid of the best part of the game. And yeah, that's no. Nah, guys, that ain't the look you want right now. Outside of that, I don't know what's going on with Destiny or Bungie at all. So I don't care. When they finally do something with that game worth me looking at, maybe I will. Oh no, I won't actually, because they added that fucking goddamn root level fucking anti-cheat system to the game, because, you know, that's a thing that people are doing nowadays, and if you do that, you're a fucking monster. I don't respect you as a company or a developer. No one gets more access to my computer than I have. You do not get deeper access to my computer systems than I do. Go fuck yourself. No. No. But yeah, more MMOs should rip off stuff from WoW, because there is some good stuff in there. Opinions on Activision Blizzard are known. There are still good things in terms of WoW's, one, gameplay, and two, their in-game systems, like their transmog system and stuff, that are just better than anyone else's. The transmog system is literally, if you pick up a thing, it is added to your wardrobe, and even from before you got the fucking wardrobe, it knew what you've ever picked up, and you can just transmog into it as long as your character can wear it. No extra bullshit, no needing plates or prisms or money, like, it's just fucking some gold, and that's all you need. And no premium currencies, no limited size for your wardrobes, no nothing. It's just you unlock the look, and that's all it is. And it's the best system, and I wish more I really wish more places would rip that shit right off, because I get that it's a way for you to make a shit ton of money from people because they want to play dress up with their dolls. Yeah, guess what? sell them cosmetics. Don't force them to pay for that, though. Like, sell cosmetics. Cosmetics, people buy cosmetics all the time. Fucking, you do not know how much platinum I have had in Warframe. Like, not purchased, per se, but I have traded for, which is still, that's money that still went to Digital Extremes. I own almost every single deluxe skin because I will farm to get the platinum I need to get that shit. And it's still platinum, it's still real fucking money currency, so they're still getting their money at some point. Somebody else bought it so that they could trade for things they want, and I trade the things they want for the currency so I can buy the things I want, which is cosmetics, because I like playing dress up with my dolls. But a lot of companies don't realize that, and instead of making inviting systems that would probably encourage people to spend more money, like, let's be real, if Bungie didn't fuck up with their transmog system and piss a lot of people off, I wonder how many more people would be buying cosmetics and stuff, because there's a whole other thing with Bungie and cosmetics happening with Destiny, though, so I don't know how much that would change, because for a while, and I don't know if it's still happening, they really just felt like it was just about putting out cosmetics that were only buyable with real money, and that was it. That was the only thing that they were doing for a long time, and it was the only thing that you could get from them. They weren't putting out like in-game cosmetics that were nice that you could unlock or anything, so it left the community pretty jaded last I knew. That's a bad way of doing it. You should have earnable cosmetics in the game that look good and encourage people to play your game, because when they're encouraged to play your game, they will be more likely to spend money on your game. Or at least that's me. Like, if I have good things in a game and I see things I like in a game, I am more willing and I have more of a desire to support that developer in some way. Like, if I had the money, I would buy a bunch of shit, like real cash shit in Warframe, because I like what DE is doing right now, and I want to support that. And when they fuck up, I don't support it. That is what you should do. You should not blindly support things just because you liked it at one point. If you don't like what it's doing now, do not give them monies to tell them, because that's the only thing they care about. They care about whether they're making money or not. And if a place is doing a thing you don't like, stop giving them money. And that applies to anything. That applies to video games. That applies to literally anything, because that's the way that capitalism works. And you're not going to change capitalism that quickly. So instead, what you have to do is work within that system to fuck it up. And does that work all the time? No. Again, I've said it before. Look at what's happening with AOC. She is becoming exactly what she constantly swore she would not do and what she would fight, because she's trying to work within a political system that is not tenable to do that in. But it's very easy to just withhold your money from a corporation. You just don't have to give it to them. Now, that doesn't mean everything is easy to do with that, because like with Amazon, you can't withhold money from Amazon. You would need to stop using the internet in general. Amazon's web service makes up 30-something% of the internet, if not more by now. That was an old stat too. So probably closer to 40 or 50% by now, I'm guessing, with Google and Azure making up the bulk of the rest. Microsoft and Google, Microsoft not as much as Google, but Google, I mean, fucking, oh my god, this fucking annoying ass thing. I mean, Google's goddamn thing is what Discord runs on, what most stuff run on, and if it isn't, it's Amazon. Like, you can't withhold your money from them. Like, you just can't, unless you stop using the internet altogether, which some of y'all motherfuckers should. But you can at least withhold it from, you don't have to give your money to Square Enix or Microsoft, or well, you do. You don't have to give it to like Square Enix or Blizzard or somebody like that. You don't have to. They are not a integral corporation to life, which we should not have corporations that are integral to life. That's a whole other thing. But they are. Like, you can't get away from that. It is. You cannot get away from Amazon. You cannot get away from Microsoft. You cannot get away from Google. No matter how hard you try, you can restrict how much money you give to them, and you should. If you don't like their policies, if you don't like their practices, restrict how much money you give. Do not use the services that you can get around not using. But also, you're not going to completely cut them out of your life, because they literally make up the bulk of communications, of modern communications. Like, straight up. You just can't. And the quicker that people accept that and also learn that they can still fight it, the better things will be. Yeah, this thing was just caught up on something. Because no, you're not going to really affect Amazon. Like, their bottom line will not be touched. They have grown too powerful. We need an actual like government body intervention. I'm not talking about just the states. I'm talking about like EU and everything needs to get in on forcing Amazon to no longer exist. That's not going to happen. But you can withhold money from Activision Blizzard. You can withhold money from these companies that do things you don't like. So do that. You don't have to have your treats. And that goes along with, like, I have not given Activision Blizzard a dime since they hired the fucking torture woman. Like, since before everything else, like, since before everything has come out about them, I saw that they fucking hired literally a Bush-era fucking torture, like, the person who led the fucking torture at Guantanamo Bay. And I'm like, no, you don't get my money now. And it's pretty simple to just go, no, this corporation that just makes video games that I don't need to play to survive just doesn't get my money now. What is this stuck on? It's like, it's not going anywhere. It's not touching anything. What the fuck? Okay. Let me try lifting it that way. What the shit? What is going on? What the fuck? Whatever, I'll figure that out later. Anyway, I'm gonna go end this one because it's already been a fucking hour. And I guess I just have to keep cutting up this ship because it's gonna not save between days? I don't fucking know. Did I finish the ship yesterday? I don't feel like I did. So I guess this episode's gonna be even later than I thought, because I was like, I can get this up by like 11. But nope, because I'm gonna have to finish this shit up. So yeah, let's go back, repair everything, and end it for the day. Anyway, have a nice night, everybody. I'll see you.